Okay, so I know it can get dark in this corner for whatever reason, just because of the lighting. It's September 15th, 2020, 11 o'clock in the morning, and guess what I'm doing? I just finished doing dishes. Alright, now I'm going to get on with some of this beef. Economically, it just makes more sense for me to do it this way. And then, first I'm going to can what I want. Alright, I'm going to cut up 2 roasts. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut up 2 roasts so I have enough for at least 1 case of this. And then the other roast, I'm just going to grind up in a grinder and make my own hamburger meat. Right? Because that's better for you people. It really is. If you can do that, that's the best. And then I'm going to just vacuum seal it and freeze it flat. Right? That won't take up much room. A little bit. Right? And then you can use that for other things. Kind of tired, you know, all that in the greenhouse yesterday, climbing and stretching and getting wet and working in the cold. And so, yes, I created myself more work, but at the end of the day, it's not bad work, right? That's the way you look at it, okay? And I'm preparing for the second wave, people. We don't know how long that wave is going. And considering that, something sticky on the counter here. Considering that they're importing pork from Germany, you know, kind of says a lot, right? Because we have enough farmers out here, people. This is, British Columbia, Canada is farmland, right? Why do you think the Punjabis come out here and plant their blueberry orchards and strawberry orchards and those kind of things? Because it's all farmland, right? And unfortunately, though, some people are buying up this farmland and destroying the farmland for whatever reason. But anyway, I'll be back. Hold on. Okay, so back in the greenhouse, just checking it out. I have to give these babies just a bit of water, just a bit. I didn't water them yesterday, but when they're getting to this stage, they like a little bit of water every day. It's just you got to be careful not to overwater them. So, I'm leaving the lights burning. I can feel the heat slightly. I mean, it's not as much as I would like, but it's okay, right? Do you see? Well, watch them grow, people. Okay, you watch these little guys grow. Huh? Every day. They get bigger and bigger. Right? So if I give them a little bit of water, by tomorrow they'll be a little bit bigger. See how nice everything is? Right? Smells good in here. See, this is what I want to cover up. I'll probably do it from the outside in the back. Right? So, and then the air won't come in and it won't escape, right? And then of course I got just a few things to repair, like this. You can see, right? Just wanted to show you. So yeah, lights are burning, just leave them burning. Okay, so the point of this exercise is so that you have it, right? You got to get it in bits and batches, unless of course you're rolling in dough. Then you can buy a whole cow. I can't afford a whole cow at one time. What did this cost me? Almost 60 bucks. And last time I did this, it was almost 60 bucks. You can see, you don't get very much for your money. Anyway, there's those $1 chicken bones, which I'm gonna, since I'm in the kitchen, you know, it's hard on me, people. I live a dual life. Well, I live more than one dual life, but, you know, I'm inside doing woman stuff, and then I'm outside doing man stuff. So I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to make some pea soup, because Amari really likes pea soup, and Andre's been asking me for pea soup because he likes pea soup too. So that's what I'm going to do today as I'm working on this other stuff. So I'm going to make pea soup with this. I'm just going to get the broth going first, right? And now I'm going to start cutting up at least 2 of these, right? I'm kind of lazy. I'm kind of tired, people. Do you hear the piano? Anytime I come across something that's playing the piano, like seriously, man, it makes me think of ShaMay. I just want to so cry. Hold on a minute. I don't know, the title of that song seemed to say, "She Loves You." Right? And ShaMay played beautiful piano. Such a waste of a life, people. Ciera's too was a waste of a life. So anyway, when I'm tired, I gotta change these glasses. These are my computer glasses. I can't really see with them on. Hold on. I'm moving kind of slow. That's why I'm not hammering, banging, lifting, pulling, climbing, stretching. Right? So maybe that's why I do this. Because it gives me an inside break from the outside stuff. But, of course, I have panic attacks. Doesn't matter if I'm outside or inside. All day long, every fucking day, people, because of the city. Yeah, because people use this yard against me, even though I've got a beautiful greenhouse growing wonderful, nice, beautiful tomatoes. Yeah, right. Pond is being put in, all these other things. They just try and make me lose everything. So, of course, I'm feeling guilty. I should be doing something outside. I'm going to try and get outside today, but at the rate I'm going, I don't know. It's 11:30 now. I want to start washing those blankets that were inside the X Club so that they're nice and clean, so that after I wipe everything down, I can hang them back up. So I've got to wash these. So after I get this all processed, I figure I'll throw them in the washing machine and get them drying out, hang drying, right? And then if I don't get into there today, right, tomorrow, and then I won't have this pressure worrying about meat spoiling in the fridge because I'm not doing anything with it, right? And then after I'm done, I have the satisfaction of knowing that I did it and I have it. I mean, yeah, I want it. If I had more time, I'd make more like a stew. But I don't have the time, so I'm just going to do the beef. That's what I'm going to do. And use it when I need it. Right? So, when you do this kind of stuff, you see that fat? It's best to cut it off. You can grind that up with the one that you're going to use to make ground beef. And that will be good with that because this beef isn't as greasy as hamburger. That's the point. And I want the ground beef ground up with that. Because for the life of me, I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Jamaican patties. I'm like, wouldn't it be so good to make Jamaican patties right about now? So maybe after I grind up this meat, I'm gonna leave a little bit out. And I have lots of cookbooks, right? I'll look for the Caribbean one with the Jamaican patties in it and see if I can find it. And maybe I'll try and attempt to make a couple of Jamaican patties just for the fun of it. With that ground beef, right? And speaking of cookbooks, April, when I get downstairs towards Auntie ShaMay's room, that's where all the cookbooks are, right? And Auntie ShaMay's cookbooks, okay? I'll just randomly grab one from there when I send you out your jelly. Lucy, I'm debating whether I should send you these little walnut trees. I found another box. It's a diaper box. It's a bigger box that I just have to and go. I'd have to take the stuff that's in the box that I have it in right now and put it in the other box, and then there's enough room to lay those plants in there. But I'm getting a little concerned because the weather is changing, and I don't know how well they'll adapt to being transplanted in the middle of winter. But if you bring them in the house or just keep them close on the porch or something where it's kind of warm, they'd probably take root before winter set in. So anyway, but you know I'm under pressure, okay? You got that whip on my back psychologically, right? That the city could show up at any fucking day and start with their antics again and acting like I don't do shit around here. I'm only one person, okay? It's hard for me to do inside and outside at the same time in terms of getting everything done in one day. I'm not superhuman. I know some people are, but I'm not. Okay. The jars are here. I just haven't packed them yet. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. You see, I have to pace myself. I'm like tired. I laid down as I was converting over this video last night, which has already been uploaded. Because I did that this morning thinking, oh, I'm just going to lay down for 5 minutes, right? Just 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes, my ass. I passed out. Right? Because I get so tired. And like, I'm like kind of moving at a snail's pace here right now. When you're outside working, you can't be moving like a snail. Right? You have to work fast. Right? Especially when it's heavy stuff.
Like dirt.
Like dirt, yeah. And then I carry those buckets like I'm running a marathon. Because they're heavy, right? And I'm carrying them halfway across the yard sometimes. 50 at a time. Well, not 50, but 30. Right? Just to get it done. And you still have more. I still have more to out carry. But before I start digging around in the dirt, though, you know, more than likely, I think tomorrow will be the day when I'm in the X Club, right? And I have repairs I have to do in there, so I'll just wash the blankets, and maybe I'll go in there and start washing the shelves. That requires a different kind of energy, right? When the stuff is washing and this is all canned and everything's good to go, I'll go maybe do that. Or maybe what I might do is I might go get my beans. Some of them, or most of them, or all of them, right? And I might can some beans tonight, right? And then get that out of the way, right? Because everything's changing, right? Or maybe I'll do another batch of potatoes, because I want one more batch of canned potatoes just because I do, right? So you see what I'm doing here is I'm taking all this wonderful fat off, and then I'm going to go find my hand mixer, my hand grinder, and I'm going to grind it up. And the only thing is I have to go and climb back up and go get my, what is it called? Vacuum sealer again. Putting away, grabbing it out, putting it away, grabbing it out. So the reason that you take off the fat before you can it as best as you can, and it's because when the jar sits, the fat crawls, and it could have the potential to pop it, right? Not always, just sometimes. Very seldom does it happen, but it can happen. So the more you can take it off, technically, the better it is. Right? And besides, if you're going to grind up this beef, it doesn't taste the same as if it was like ground hamburger. For whatever reason, because they put additives in with the ground hamburger, right? Maybe it's a bit more fatty too, I don't know. I just know that the meat is different. It tastes like meat. Right? So you want the fat in it because that gives it more flavor. So you're not losing. And you know what you're getting in terms of ground hamburger meat. Right? And for the amount of money that you spend for a hamburger, you might as well do it this way yourself and get better meat. Just look for those sales. So basically, I'm going to cut this one. I already did the big one. And then I've got the small one left there, which I'm going to grind up with the fat pieces in there. I left that, you can see, right? So I get a couple of packs anyway. And I don't know, probably just do this all day. If you don't like my videos, you don't have to come in and waste your energy to thumb them down. You can just go somewhere else. Lots of YouTube channels, right? You know, nobody's making you come and watch. If you don't learn nothing from here, then it's probably just as well that you fuck off. Right. Unless, of course, you know everything. Right? See? Okay, so I just approved Lucy's comments. I'm filling up jars now. And she was going on talking about this rally that just happened on Sunday. And how somebody was there. I'd have to look for that person. That's apparently a pastor or something. That's in support of the LNG line, which is liquid gas, which Christy Clark is in charge of, people. Even though she had scandal within her government, she got appointed to a high position to promote a gas line under the guise of helping the poor British Columbians. Right? Because they always throw that in there. Right? And anyway, and how a couple of other YouTubers that she's come across, no names mentioned, I think I know who she's talking about, which is still up for debate, Lucy. If that's what you're wondering. If I've done my research on that person yet. I haven't. Right? Because you see, not only do these entities cloak themselves, right, with, I don't know what you call it, right? Okay? I mean, shapeshifter is the easy term, but it's more than that, people. You know, they cloak their agendas. This is what makes them dangerous. This is what makes them predators. At least if you're a cow, well, you see, the thing about cows is they may have intuitive instincts. You know, they may have, you know, animals like those spiders that come across. You know, I come across, which I barreled through one today, going to the greenhouse. So if you see a spider on me, that's only because I was outside running through webs. But if you noticed yesterday, that little spider came out of his hole when I was up at the greenhouse banging. Well, I wasn't banging, I was screwing. I was banging earlier, so I guess I woke him up. And then he came out, and he just basically wouldn't leave. Did you notice that? He wouldn't leave. I guess he was defending his home. I guess he liked it there. You know? And he wasn't necessarily talking to me, but through body language, from a spider's perspective, you could say he wasn't too much in a hurry to run off. And he wanted to make sure that I knew that he was there. Well, same kind of thing with these things. Right? They operate on their own agenda. They have their own agenda, people. Okay? They're not like us. Right? And they don't tell the truth. That's the thing. I don't think they're capable of telling the truth. They couldn't exist unless they do what they do. And that's to hide themselves, hide their agendas. right? Sneak around in the dark, sneak around in the fucking corners, you know, communicate on the sidelines, you know, when nobody is technically looking, right? It's being done so fast you don't even notice it, right? And if you're not even aware of it, you wouldn't notice it. Because, you know, people are just licking their lips. But you have to take it one step further, right? Once you become aware. And when you lose family members to these types of individuals, you start to become aware. Because you want to know why it's happening. And it's not just your family, it's other families as well, right? So, and then she brought up the subject of, you know, donations, right? They made a lot of money off of that. Well, yeah, because it was arranged by the union people. What union? QP? What part of the union? You know, was the whole union involved? Obviously not. Right? But anytime anything happens in British Columbia, Canada, that large amounts of people come out, it's being managed and run by the union. Undercover. Occupy Vancouver would never have existed if it wasn't for the union. So now they're collecting money to fight. Well, what they got money for that day, for that rally, I don't know. Right? Apparently it wasn't asked for, but people were running up and giving it to them. Now, the thing about that, though, is if you have 100 monkeys and everyone's just sitting on a tree and nobody's moving, and one monkey gets down and starts to crack a nut, the other 99 monkeys are just going to sit and watch. Before any large amounts of monkeys decide to get off their butt, climb down the tree, and start cracking nuts, there has to be at least 10 monkeys doing it. And once there's 10 monkeys doing it, the other 90 monkeys will come down and do it as well. They've done studies on this. Humans are the same way. So, yeah, if people are going to be running up, giving donations out of a crowd of how many, the ones watching this only have to watch it for a while before they feel obligated to do it. That's predictive programming, right? That's, you know, gaslighting, manipulation, right? Covert coercion, the whole 9 yards. So nobody can be surprised that they got a whole bunch of donations, because all it would have taken is a handful of people with a bunch of money told to go and start donating in front of the crowd, and it wouldn't be long before people would start digging into their fucking pockets. Right? Because, you know, money is money. Right? It cost money to make those banners and whatever else they were doing there. That equipment, gas. I'm not saying they didn't deserve to get money, but it's the fact that of the way they said it was just randomly donated. I highly doubt that. It was staged. Right? It was done through subliminal suggestion. That's what they call it. Subliminal suggestion. And then, now we know, since this has happened, and like this is where I'm on the fence with this, okay? Through these rallies, the subject of taking the school board, the Vancouver school board, at this point, or the government, the actual government itself, to court to gain back freedoms. I don't know what those freedoms are yet, but now the call has been put out for $400,000 to pay a lawyer to take on the government. Which, on the surface, that would be something that I would promote. Sue your government. Stand up. Spend your $200 and file it yourself. If 10,000 people filed a lawsuit, it would be hard for the government to ignore those 10,000 in terms of crooked judges. A judge can only throw out so much before people start to notice. So it's not something that I wouldn't say. However, at this stage of the game, and in light of who we're kind of dealing with here, and how they keep key information silent and hidden from the general public so that they can continue to get those donations for their cause, which technically doesn't help my family because we don't fit in, people. We're not like them. I'm like, well, why should we have to sue the government for the government to do the right thing? You shouldn't have to, people. So is this another union money grab to lock everything up into the court as the government and key players continue to bankrupt thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of human beings in the province of British Columbia, Canada, as in business as usual, right? So they can open up that gene pool, right? Because if more go into poverty, there will be more death, more bodies to scoop up on, right? And more grief and mayhem and dysfunction and lives falling apart where people don't connect the dots. It's like being blindsided. So I'm 50-50 on it. Right? Only because it's the union that's doing it. Only they're doing it cloaked. With an ulterior motive. That's what I'm thinking. So that's my response to you, Lucy. I'm not typing it down. Okay? I'm tired. Right? I'm just going to leave it like that. And when you watch this video, you'll hear my response on it. So it doesn't look like I'm getting that many jars. I got 7. I think the last time I did this, I got 8. Right? But that's how you do it. 8 jars here, 8 jars there, right? And then before you know it, you have enough jars that you can go to bed and sleep easy and not worry about your family starving for whatever catastrophic reason that could come your way. See, this is too much fat. I took it from here. Then I'm going to grind up next. I think my day is going to be pretty much in the kitchen, people. I'm moving like a snail. Seriously. I'm so moving like a snail. I'm so tired. Right? If I had TV or even a laptop to sit and watch and lay down on the couch and just eat my pea soup with a nice tea biscuit or something, boy, that'd be great. But I don't have that, so I'm just going to pace myself, and after this I'm going to see if I can do some beans. If I don't do the beans, I'm going to do the potatoes, and I'm going to get caught up because, tomorrow I'm going to go right back outside. And I'm going to be outside because I'm going to wash those blankets before I rehang them up in the X Club after I install that other window. Right? And wipe everything down. So I still may do that as things are processing. But you kind of have to keep an eye on the gauge. Right? So that's when you get your beans ready. Right? As your meat's cooking, I'm going to go pick some beans. I'm going to get them ready so that when the canner's empty, I can put in the beans. You have to kind of hover and watch. You have to watch the little gauge, right? So it doesn't, go to the moon. Okay, so this is where we're at. Okay, hold on. Dirty hand, that's what it is. Okay, So 7 jars is better than no jars, right? Considering how much beef is costing at sale price. I really don't think it matters where you go, honestly. You're not going to find it too much cheaper once in a blue moon, and you really have to scour around. This here I am going to grind up, which is perfectly good, right? You can see this, and like I said, I'm going to see if I can leave even just a little bit out, and maybe between tonight or tomorrow, since I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to see if I can make a Jamaican patty, assuming I can find a recipe. And I'm working on the pea soup over there. Okay, so basically, it sat in the fridge for 2 days when I bought it, right? I worked outside yesterday, right? So I didn't get to it yesterday, so by the time I got to it today, it had already leached out. Wandering eye. It had already leached out a lot of its blood, okay? Which, you know, you don't put water in this, people, okay? I don't know, I said I wasn't going to tell you. I was just going to show you. But anyway, to show you in terms of the end result. But you don't put water in it because it will release its own juices. But because it's already bled out a lot, you might not get as much water in there as you think you should get. So don't panic. That's all I'm trying to say. So I like to give it salt, okay? And wipe your rims, put them on, put them in there. I think it's half pint. I think it's 45 minutes. I think I'll double check. And then as that's going and starting, I'm going to go grab some beans. And I'm going to start doing my beans because I only have so much time to do stuff. My fridge smells like apples. I have to get into these apples, but you use a water bath for that. So I'm just going to try and get on and get this pressure canner out of here. If I do the beans, I can probably, well, you never know. I have to wait and see. Hold on. Okay, so once you get to 10 pounds pressure, right, it's 75 minutes for a half a pint, okay? Okay? Now, oh God, I was in the bean bush. Can you tell? Plus I'm by the stove. Hold on. Okay, so for as much runny nose and I'm like a, what do you call that? There's something burning on the burner. It's hot. You notice I took off my sweater. And I was right in the middle of the bean bush. In a big bush. I'm like a walking COVID factory. But I don't have COVID, people. And even if I did, I'd ride it out. I don't get out enough to get COVID. Like I said, before I'd go out and get COVID, somebody would bring it to me. And honestly, it can't be anything more worse than what we went through in 2015 with that killer flu that was killing all the homeless people. And of course the politicians were staying mum on that one. They weren't saying shit about that. It went through the whole house, made me sleep for a week. And then it got Uncle John medically kidnapped. So, there's your COVID. I have to stand here and adjust the stove. I just want to say that a canner is your best friend, okay? A pressure canner. If you don't have one, I highly recommend that you get it. Don't be afraid to use it either. If you've never used one before and you're afraid to use it, just have a friend with you or somebody, you know, family member or something. And 1 or 2 times and you'll be good, right? And I'd also have a backup canner just in case. So anyway, I went out and I got these beans. Okay? Now, I like them with the husk. Even though you have that string in them. I don't know how well you can see here. The camera, like, it's so dark when I have the camera in that corner. Right? Maybe I can put it right here. What do you think? Maybe. I just have to keep an eye on this. So, it's 45 minutes for a pint of beans. And yeah, I licked my lips too, but I'm not no lizard person. That's a pint. I think it's 45 minutes for beans, okay? It's 75 minutes for beef. And you have to cook them in a pressure canner. You can't water bath them. Okay? So, even though these ones have a string on them, I mean, you can try and pull them off, but when you cook them up, you see, it's kind of hard to get them. There's a little one there, but for what it's worth, if I'm cutting and I come across, I can pull, I pull. Otherwise, when I eat the bean, I just chew out, you know, the pulp, and I just spit out the string, right? Because it doesn't, you know, it's stringy. Because normally I think people, this one dried on the vine. This is a very faithful bean plant, I tell you. That's what they look like. Bean by itself, I don't necessarily like. I tried eating them and, I don't know, didn't really do anything for me. Didn't really like them. But if I chop them up and I put them in, I just chop it and they're in with this, oops, then it's no problem. I don't mind it that way. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I've got a few more beans to pick. I haven't really looked at them. I'll take you out. I'll show you later. And I just wanted to say, when my Uncle Nick was alive, back in the day, you know, I guess you could say I come from a Christian background, right? He was going on about how, got my wrong glasses on here. I'm on the computer too. He was going on about how society is going to reverse itself and go back to the old days where it's going to be horse and buggy. And he was a top-notch, #1, top-of-the-line car dealer, right? That's what he did. He sold cars. And, you know, before he died, he just said, yeah, we're going to all revert back to cart and buggy, and technology will kind of disappear, and blah, 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 blah. You know? So, in some ways, I think we're going to have to head in that direction, because you can't even go out in society without people just standing around with their cell phones. Like, I don't have a cell phone, people. I don't want one. I'm never getting one. Nobody can force me to have one. I think it's too much of a disruption, especially for young people. It distracts them too much. It puts the priority life in the wrong spot. It's too easy for people to be manipulated by them, right, through the information that's coming through them. And then the pressure of, you know, you got to have this app and this and that and blah and blah. You know, I think there might be some truth with what my uncle said. Now, will it get back to the actual horse and buggy and that's the only way you can get around town? I don't know about that, but I can definitely see at some point in the future the way things are going, where maybe not everybody, but some people are just going to throw their cell phones away and get in touch with fucking life, reality, in terms of just, you know, like you know, just harvesting and growing food and, you know, and that kind of stuff, right? That's why it's important that we don't cut down our fruit-bearing trees, including the horse chestnut tree. Because with the horse chestnut tree, you can tan leather with, right? You can cure leather, cowhide, any kind of hide, animal hide, with the horse chestnut because of the, I think it's called tannin. Grape leaves have tannins, and horse chestnut has tannin. And that's what you use to tan hides, cure hides, right? And then if you leach it enough in water, you can take out that and you can actually eat the horse chestnut as a gruel, like a porridge, right? But you have to leach out the tannin first. So, I just want to say that, like, I see people just all the time with their cell phones, and we're in the days of revelation, and my uncle said, when it gets to that point, at some point, everything's going to come crashing down, and the technology just won't be there, right? There won't be the vehicles like we used to have, and da-da-da-da, and, be horse and buggy, and, and you got to till the land, and blah, 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 and blah. So, maybe there might be some truth to that. There might be, right? That's what I'm thinking. So, that's just a little tribute to my Uncle Nick. Alright, I love my uncles. I love my Uncle Harry. I love my Uncle Nick. I love my grandfather, right? I really love my Auntie Jerry. And then she kind of went loopity-loop, right? So, my Auntie Noreen was always a cold fish. So, and my cousins, they just kind of basically grew up racist within their family units. And because I didn't follow the norm in terms of white is right and you got to do it the right way, right, in order to coexist in society. They just kind of fell off to the wayside. So it doesn't bother me, people. Oh, my eyes bother me though. So yeah. So some of these will grow next year. Right? Not like I don't have already, I still have. But these ones here, I'm basically going to can them for the most part. That's what I'm going to do. And I've got some other ones out there growing. I don't know, I've just kind of left them alone. So I'm going to go get those too. So now you know why I bought the jars, because I do like these canned. See, this one's full of beans, so I'm going to cut, and I'm going to can it with the bean, because it's tasty that way with the garlic after the fact. That's how I like it. This one I'll let dry, right? They were under the plant, so they're not as green as they normally would be, but they'll still be fine once you can them. Right, look at that. Nice. See? Okay, so I washed them, I got them ready, and I took out as many of those things as I could, right? That's all you can do. Now I still got 40 minutes to go on this canner, so as I'm waiting, I'm just going to stand here because I have to keep an eye on the gauge, right? I'm just going to start filling up jars. You do not have to sterilize your jars because it's going into a pressure canner for 45 minutes, so it's unnecessary. All they need to be done is clean. Okay, so I got 12 more minutes on this canner, and this is what I've been doing. This is the way I like them, people. Not very much goes to waste, you can see. I mean, right? If you were just wanting the bean, then, yeah, okay, fine. You don't want the husk, right? But I like the husk. It tastes like a green bean. I went out of my way and tried to take out a bit more because this is stringy. But there you go. See, look, there's bean. I find cooking it this way is palatable for me because, I just like it. It's good. Garlic, oh my God. So good. So, as soon as this is done, I'm going to go out to the other bean patch, right? And we're going to go see what's there. I'll bring my camera. We're going to go see what's in that bean patch. And I'm going to pick those, and I'm going to can those at the same time that I do these ones. Alright. Look at them. Those are nice. But I have a jar full that will grow. And I'm not too worried about it. If I need, I can always ask my landlady for some seeds this time around. Right? Because she has now, right? So, you see, I like it like this. Yeah, that's good like that. I don't know how she eats hers. I don't know if she eats the green part, but anyway, there you go. So how many jars is that? That's 6. 6 so far. And then we'll go out and see what is outside in a bit. Hold on. Okay, so as you can see, I don't know what's going on in here. Still blooming rain. There's a few beans, I don't know. Looks like, yeah. So, oh, something's growing here. Look. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is another pumpkin. I don't think so. Looks a little different. Right. Remember, everything got in late, and half of what I planted just dried up. Like the bugs ate it. And it was so cold, they died, right? So I'm surprised I'm even getting anything in here, people. I don't know if there's anything else in here. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Just a bunch of leaves. I'll let you know. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to do one more jar. This is all that was out there. But for what it's worth, I'll just do 7 jars. Assuming I can get 7, which I probably can. Maybe baby. And then I went next door and I got this. That's that Korean tea. Good for the chest. So it's nicely blooming, you can see. So I'm going to go scoop up some more and then hang dry it. Yeah, I only have so much time to do this stuff. And I was looking at those bigger grapes out there. They're starting to, if I do anything with some of them, it would be just to make juice. That's all I would do with them. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens when that time comes. Not quite. So I might be able to get one more jar. And then, yeah. I think so. Hold on. Okay, so it's, I think, September 15th, 2020. And what we're going to do here is, well, what I'm doing is I'm going through some of these people that working. Alright, just whatever, right? We'll start with this guy. Okay? Now, I don't know any of these individuals, alright? So I'm not picking on nobody. But you need to watch. So hold on. Make sure it's... No, we're good. So I've canned the beef, I've canned the beans, and now I'm thinking about 7 jars of potatoes. But in the meantime, here's this. Seen that, eh? And he did it again. He did it twice, people. He didn't lick his lips. All he did was stick his fucking tongue out. Okay? That was the only thing that he did. You can see that. It's right there. That's the first time. And this is all in less than a minute. Seen that, eh? Okay, where are we? See? 1729. Did you see that? We'll take it to 1728. Seen that, eh? Looks suspicious to me, people. Okay, one more time. And I just want to point out how nobody's paying attention. He has a cell phone, looks like cell phone, looking into a cell phone, right back there, looking into a camera or a cell phone, camera, cell phone, looks like a camera, cell phone. This person over here has a cell phone. Okay, as if people are really paying attention to their surroundings. Right? Hey, you notice that, eh? What happened? Oh, that was fast. You see? Do you see how fast that goes? Okay? Do you see? If you weren't looking, you wouldn't notice. What did I do? Well, how did I jump that far? Oh my God. I don't know how I jumped that far. Hold on a minute. Okay, he's clearly looking at somebody. Oh, I gotta find the mouse. And this is exactly why I do it this way, people. Okay, we're going to resize this right now by 200. Now, I don't know who this person is, other than he's working there. He's involved with these groups. Okay, this is not a camera flaw. You can see in here, look at this. Tell me what kind of tongue looks like that, people. Tell me. I'd like to know. Okay, I'm going to upload this with my canning video. Just kind of like, we're just doing a follow-up. Obviously, this is his tongue. Something else is bubbling up out of it. You can see there's a bubble there. So we got a bubble here, a bubble there, and a bubble forming in here. I can only imagine what comes out when they're feeding and they're relaxed. Okay? Alright, just think of ShaMay and how they stretched her chin out, people, her mouth. Okay, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put a picture of ShaMay in this video. Okay, because I'm telling you, they're doing something with these dead bodies that are coming in en masse through fentanyl and whatever happened to Ciera. Okay, behind closed doors with her family standing on the fucking porch. Alright, this is not his teeth. You can see his lip line. This is his tongue. But there's that bubble There's that bubble. There's that bubble. Okay, so we'll just move a little bit. It's freezing on me. Oh. Licking. You seen that, eh? He does it twice. Anyway. But before I move on, I just want people to notice that, you know, it's not really anyone in particular. This here is a Satanist kind of a sign, right? In terms of the number 8. I don't really know how to explain it because I don't study that stuff, people, right? I'll provide a link to I think her name's Tamara. She does a lot of this stuff, right? But she does it differently than I do. And she addresses the number 8 and how it aligns itself with Satanism and all this other crap, right? But this, what you're looking at, is more than Satanism, okay? These individuals have been infected with something in terms of something's been put into their bodies and actually lives there. Or they've been murdered and they've been replaced with something else that appears to be the old person when in fact it's something else, whether it's a robot or a synthetic transhuman something, but clearly there's something wrong, right? Clearly there's something wrong. So we're going to just do one more time, and I'm not going to stop it, and you can just see how fast it goes. We'll start it at 28, right? And it goes to 29 and it's done. So, all in a minute, on slow speed. As if anyone's paying attention. Okay, that was done with intent. And then he stands back and he looks smug. But if you look at him, he doesn't look anything like that other person I was looking at yesterday or the day before or whatever, right? Right? Completely two different facial features, just everything. Okay, so what is it that binds them together in terms of with their sign language, right? Whether it's done through hands, whether it's done through the tongue, okay? I mean, it's becoming clear to see, okay? Like, what is it? Is it a living thing that's inside them? That's like that alien species. You know that movie Alien? Something that attached itself to the person's mouth, got inside, and just made a nest, and every now and then it comes out. Like, what is it? Okay, it's something, right? Like, are these actual living, breathing, well, I don't want to call them human beings because they've been altered, okay? But, like, the body itself, like, is the body organic? Or had it died like ShaMay once before, right? And then because they can do, they can run They're doing all kinds of crazy shit in these hospitals now, people. Hold on a minute. Okay. I know. It's upsetting. Okay, don't think it's not upsetting for me, but this is important, people, because this is what they're doing to bodies in hospitals. This is my beautiful daughter who had a very, very high IQ, who taught herself how to play piano and read music, and this is what the public union sector did to my daughter. Look at her mouth. Okay, why? What would be her lip is so stretched out. Can you see how stretched out? Everything just falling over. What would be the purpose for them to stretch out her mouth like that and think it was fucking acceptable? Tell me. Tell me. Now, I think this one was on the 19th. Because remember I told you, when I walked in that day, on the side of her neck was a big Band-Aid, and it was like red. I'm not even going to call it blood, people. It wasn't blood, okay? But it was a bunch of red shit that was leaking out. And of course I said, why is all that blood leaking out of her body? Okay, this was when I came in at 9 o'clock, okay? Because I was busy with Andre. I was busy with the baby, right? Okay, my daughter had just been hauled out of the freaking house in a fucking hammock with 6 men carrying her, okay? With the cops standing there saying it didn't look good. All right, so I came in at 9. This thing was not swollen, but you see, this was on the 19th. This is when they turned off the machine. That's why you can see it, people. Do you see how bad that is? That is the jugular vein. That is where they went in and took out her blood and put formaldehyde in there, and they ran it through some little funky fucking machine, okay? We've got pictures of it, okay? And through all their little tubes, whatever, because you have to remember, they pulled back her face, okay? I'm pretty sure of it, people. And they put something underneath her skin, because when I go into exposures, I see certain things that are under the skin that are too uniform for it to be natural, okay, in terms of like little sticky pads, right? You know, like little sticky pad, you know, little, like, you know, it's too uniform, right? You know, it's like a rectangle. Okay, so anyway, but look, why? This is my question. Considering that we have this issue with these so-called individuals with their mouths, right? I told you, they bubble out and they're suppressing whatever it is that they're trying to express, but they have to control themselves because they're in public. You know, no, sure, people are not paying attention, but if they came out looking like that and got worse and mutated, people would take notice right away. And real people, human beings, would fucking freak out. Okay. I mean, look at this. Like, this is disgusting. This is what they did to my daughter. And I asked myself, why? This is why they didn't want nobody to take pictures. Oh, ShaMay wouldn't want to be seen like that. No. You're not allowed to take pictures. Yeah, because they didn't want to get fucking caught, people. And the only reason it dragged out for so long is because from the minute I walked in at 9 o'clock and I looked at my daughter, and the first thing I said is, she looks embalmed. What's this poke mark all over her arms? What's this fucking shit leaking down her neck? Right? I want an investigation. And because I was bugging every day, anytime I talked on the phone, whatever, that's all I asked for, people. That's all I asked for. And then finally I had to walk to the fucking cop station myself. Okay. And then finally the cops showed up. All right. But by then it was like, okay. They didn't do an autopsy on her, people. Let's understand that. All they did was do a forensic examination on the blood sample that they took when she apparently first went in. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to this. Why? What is the need for that to occur? And this is why what's happening right now with the old people and whoever in these hospitals without any visitors to witness how these patients are being treated. First of all, how they're being fucking treated. Never mind what's happening to their bodies, right? And how they die, people. How they die. Okay? They allowed this to happen. Alright? Take a good fucking look at it. Alright? This is the handiwork of your healthcare system that uses lobby groups that have been infected with something, right? To rally the humans, geek them up, right? As everybody's taking their fucking notes, okay? Doing their lip service between themselves, plotting and scheming and being sneaky, right? Not coming out and telling the whole fucking truth, right? As a matter of fact, burying the truth and ignoring the truth as if it will go away, okay? Right? But what is it with the fucking tongue and the bubbles and all that shit in light of what we just seen with ShaMay? As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to upload, as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to, I'm going to just show you the beans, I'm going to show you the beef, and we know I'm going to do 7 jars of potatoes, but after this, I'm just going to upload this video, people, okay? Because human beings need to understand that we're in serious fucking danger. I could understand if they were different and they just came and said, hey man, I'm different. Will you love me for me? Will you respect me for me? Can we get along and be happy together? But you know what, people, it ain't happening like that. No, because they're feeding off of us, okay? All right, this is what Ciera teaches us, right? And if they're not fucking feeding off of us, they're using our bodies for something. If they can make a dead body look with the color of a face to be alive for 9 fucking days, laying up on a bed, what else are they capable of doing, people? Okay? The only reason they changed, her face changed in terms of color when they shut off their little mini embalming machine is because they changed the fluid that was going through their fucking tubes and little connector pads. So what was the point? What was the point of that? He wasn't licking his lips. He did it twice in less than a minute. Okay? And then he stands back and he looks fucking cocky. Right? Because he is fucking cocky. Because he's a snake, people. He's worse than a fucking snake. I don't know who this dude is. Right? But there's like something going on. And if they're doing it behind your back, okay, and they're getting up here and trying to say, oh, no, we're trying to help the public. Just give us some money. Oh, no, we don't want the money. But we'll just have 10 people come and give us money. Here, let me put on me, and then I'm going to end this fucking video. Seen ShaMay, and now I'm mad. Okay? More reason to do what I do. Right? Because we need to ask ourselves, what is it that they got to stretch this shit out? Okay? All these old people and whoever's sitting up in the hospital, trust me, their shit's getting stretched out. Because they're body snatching. Alright? They are. I don't know if ShaMay's body is in that urn, people. I really don't. She was too valuable. Hell, they could have taken her body and, you know, I mean, it's possible, and gave it to that so-called artist who likes to put dead bodies with their skin off, with their muscles, you know, in poses, right? It's a traveling art show with dead bodies that have been petrified, right, in terms of embalmed or something. They do something, and they can pose them, and you can see the muscles, and you can do all kinds, they do all kinds of crazy shit with these bodies. Why? With this stuff going on, huh? Because it's like an epidemic. Hold on a minute. Okay, so moving along, Alright, just moving forward on this video. I'm just looking, okay? Doesn't that kind of look familiar? Now, it could just be a punk rocker. Right? Just could be. Thing is, people, why are they not talking about that? Okay, why are they not addressing the fact that individuals are being locked up in hospitals, denied access to their family members, right? Denied access to lawyers, denied access to legal representation in terms of a form of a witness as to how they're being treated, and then what happens to their bodies after they die. Nobody is watching. And nobody is talking. The evidence is there. It's plain as day. Right? But you see, there's an agenda around that, people. So, I am going to end this right now. I'm going to try and get another 7 jars of potatoes, red potatoes, canned, before I go to sleep. So I can say, I'm done. And then what I have to do is probably make some grape juice, because the grapes are, some of them are ripening. So I may do that. These ones have seeds, so I would just simply make juice. And then tomatoes are coming, and then I'll be pretty much done with canning. If I do these 7 jars of potatoes, I'm happy. And then I just have to worry about the grapes and decide what I'm going to do with these tomatoes when these tomatoes come. I can't actually can them because they won't ripen on the vine. So I can probably put my canner away after, well, I have to do the apples and everything, and I'm not bringing out another canner. So, okay, let's just finish up with what I was talking about here, okay? They're not interested in protecting people's rights, because if they were interested in protecting people's rights, they would snag on to what happened to ShaMay, because there is freaking evidence there, okay? And they would fight to make it so that these people who are being locked up in hospitals and anywhere else they're being fucking locked up in, without families and friends with them, or witnesses to verify what the hell is going on with their bodies, dead or alive. Right? That's what they should be advocating for, people. They're not. If you notice, there was a lot of old people running around in that place. Right? But they're not advocating for the old people. Nope. Because if they did, they would be looking for justice for ShaMay. But that's not the agenda. No. No. It's something else. Something that stretches out this. Right? Okay. Nothing normal about this, but this was done with intent. Okay? They're fundraising for freedom. They need $400,000. Right? That's the big YouTube thing now. Let's sue BC government. Okay? But we'll ignore the evidence. How about that? Okay, so here we go again. Do you see what's going on here? Okay? Do you see this individual? Now, this was at the rally, and I guess this Tanya was up on the, mic. And like I said, people, this is my next video, okay? Whether I put it up tonight or tomorrow or whenever. Depends. I'm tired. I gotta save my energy for tomorrow. like I said in the video that's going to be converted over and uploaded very soon, my last video with the beef and the beans and the lizard talk, okay? You only need 10 people out of 100, like a band of monkeys, to do something before the other 90 will follow. This guy, well, I'm donated $1,000 and somebody can match me. And he's walking now away and he's smiling and he's communicating out to the crowd, okay? I just wanted to point that out, okay? This is a different dude. Do you see? And look, he's not licking his lips, people. This has nothing to do with licking his lips. Okay, he's literally sticking his tongue out. I mean, like, why are we not surprised? Why? Why are we not surprised, people? He was staged. Okay? To get the crowd fighting for freedom. As if a Canadian, we need to be fighting for freedom and then have to dig deep into our pockets to get a lawyer to do that for us. As if the lawyer themselves don't want freedom. Okay? People should be doing this for free. Right? Is that not true? But, like I said, they like money. Right? And being that it's so organized, you know the public union sector is involved. And that's why they don't talk about this. Okay? But we have to ask ourselves, why? Why did it come to that? Because I can, and I'll do it, people, I can show you how they have their little sensor pads under the skin so that it gives it a lifelike look until they're ready to change the fluid that's going through the tubes. I have a video on that. Okay? So this guy was a plant. Nothing more than a plant to get other people to make donations. Okay? So, why are they not helping to fundraise for this, people? You think they're going to help me? No. But if you notice, look how nice her skin looks after 9 days of being dead. Laying on a hospital bed, hooked up to an embalming machine, and a bunch of pads underneath her fucking face as it's ripping out to accommodate something else. Why are they not fundraising for this, people? I guess they don't care if it happens to their kids. It won't happen to their kids. Their kids are immune, right? Their kids are not mixed like ShaMay. But you see, it's not about being mixed. It's about that two-tiered system where you have a batch of human beings, like ShaMay, and then you have a batch of something else that cloaks itself, runs around in the dark, right? Plots and schemes and connives, right? Attacks when you're not looking, injures you so that you can suffer, and then they plan their next attack against you or your loved one. This is what they do, people. I'm telling you. Okay? And then when it's staring them in their fucking face, they ignore it. Because they're all grouped up together. And they think they're fucking tough. And they are. Because they got all the resources. They have the public union sector because the majority of them are directly connected to the public union sector. They use public tax dollars when they aren't asking for fucking donations through subliminal messaging. Like, oh, well, if we just have 10 people come up and give us $1,000, $100, well, then we can go out in a crowd with the hat, and we know that everybody's going to dig deep into their pocket because we're fundraising for freedom. We're fundraising to battle the government. When in fact they're working for the fucking government because they're not talking about this, people. Right? This is what they want. Okay? They don't care if we go hungry. They don't care if we become homeless. They don't care if we get murdered. They don't care if we suffer, right? They don't care. Because at the end of the day, this is what they want.